Hello, grade 10. Welcome back to our English class. This is Mom Fanny Luna, your MDL English teacher, signing in. We are now on week 3 of quarter 3 for this school year. This week's video lesson was crafted from Learner's Packet or LEAP intended for junior high school. The lesson title is Writing a Movie Review. Sounds interesting, right? So we love watching movie. And at this point in time, we are going to discuss how to critique a movie that we have just watched. For the most essential learning competency, you are expected to compose an independent critique of a chosen selection. So before we end up this week, you are going to watch a Filipino movie and make a movie review. In accomplishing the task included in this lesson, you will be engaged in writing a critique. This lesson will allow you to practice being critical in analyzing thoughts and ideas presented, as well as to express your opinion and evaluation of a particular selection or subject. As quoted, bawal ang judgmental, but at this point, we are going to make and share our ideas and thoughts on what we have watched. At present, technology and innovation play a significant role on how art, information, ideas, literature, or any material are presented to its target audiences. It transitioned from conventionally written forms to digital formats and even moving pictures. Writing a critique on any subject provides a space to discuss its strengths and weaknesses. Moreover, it provides the writer with the opportunity to state his or her impression on the subject. A critique as a form of academic writing could be applied in analyzing various materials such as arts, literary works, research, and media articles. One example of it is a movie review. What then is a movie review? A movie review sums up the author's personal impression and critical evaluation of a film and its elements organized in paragraphs. Its main purpose is to inform, analyze, convince, and entertain. Writing a movie review aims at providing the readers with something to look forward to without spoiling the content of the film. Now, how to write an effective movie review. So first, you have to identify the title of the story. As we have our movie review, we have to focus on the story of the movie that we are watching. And that same story is what we are going to base our movie review. So first and foremost, write the title of the story. Next, we are going to sum up the movie review into 7 paragraphs or 7 points. Let us have the first one. Number 1 is film intro. In film intro, you have to introduce the film by saying that you have just watched it and would like to share your opinion on it. Indicate a few details that will help the reader understand what type of film you are referring to. So it is very clear on your film intro, you have to introduce the film. You will just say that this is the film that you have just watched and you would like to share your opinion with. And as you introduce your film or as you introduce the film that wherein you're going to make a movie review, you have to indicate only few details that will help the reader understand the kind of film that you are referring to. Number two is plot or summary. Summarize the plot of the movie. Indicate its setting and main characters. Remember, a summary has to be brief but contain the necessary details. Do not include spoilers of any kind on any part of the movie. So as you summarize the plot of the story, you must bear on your mind that you have to identify the series of events, the significant events present in the movie. So you have to indicate, of course, the setting. When we say setting, this include the time when the story happened and the place where the story happened. So setting refers to the time and the place when and where the story happened. And of course, you have to identify the characters and how are they related with one another. So there is a reminder here that your summary has to be brief and must contain only the necessary details. It is a big no for you to write the entire story or the entire plot. All you have to do is just get the significant events, the details for that significant event so that you may be able to summarize the story. And lastly, for the plot and summary, do not include spoilers on any kind, on any part of the story. So it should be in the technical aspect only. So do not include spoilers, meaning to say, do not go beyond what is expected when it comes to your plot and summary. Number three is the setting spotlight. In this part of your movie review, elaborate on how the setting contributed to the effectiveness of the film, to the actions of the cast, and to the emotions and atmosphere it sets through every scene. So with number two, on your plot and summary, I have already mentioned that you have to indicate the setting, the time and place when and where the story happened. But you will just mention the setting. At this point on your setting spotlight, you have to elaborate how the setting contributed to the effectiveness of the film. Let us say, for example, um, the part of the story you are referring to is the one which is emotional. Of course, the setting, the time, it may be something like a sunset, or it can either be sometime that ends the day. So what I am talking about is that you have to give emphasis on how the setting contributed on the effectiveness of the film, and of course to the actions of the cast and to the emotions and atmosphere it sets through every scene. Some might wonder that why is the character always crying if it is raining? Simply because the effect of the rains add the effectiveness on the emotion and to the actions portrayed by the cast or the characters. Number four is the character limelight. Talk about the actors, actresses, and how they portrayed their characters in the movie. So character limelight, let's talk about the actors and the actresses. The one who portrayed their roles in the movie we are reviewing. Discuss about their characters and how the actors are effective in giving justice to their roles. So on this part, we have to focus on the effectiveness of the characters in portraying their roles. Though it is already mentioned in the plot, it is just mentioned, but in number four, we have to give emphasis on how effective they are in portraying their roles. Number five, likes and dislikes. On this part, talk about the parts of the movie that you like and or dislike. Be sure to include specific details or scenes from the movie. So you have to indicate what part of the movie do you really like, and vice versa. You have to talk about the part of the movie with which you do not like. Let us say, for example, you do not like the ending of the story. If you will be the writer, if you will be the director, you're going to end up the story, you're going to have the finale of the story this way. Or, I really like how the main character portrayed his role, but I do not like how the leading lady portrayed her role. So something like that. You have to talk about the parts of the movie, or even the single simplest detail in the story with which you like and or dislike. Number 6, of course, the lesson learned. On this part, share lessons learned from the movie, and this refer to your theme and moral. So all you have to do is just answer this question. What do you think other audiences will learn from it? What have you learned from the movie that you have watched? And lastly, for number 7, recommendations. Identify the group of people who would like and enjoy seeing the movie. First, ask yourself, would you recommend the movie that you critic? You have to answer this question. To whom would you recommend it to? To whom would you not recommend it to? Let us say, the movie that you reviewed and criticized is somehow violent, too violent for the kids. And so therefore, you're not going to recommend this type of movie to younger kids, to those who have younger ages. Or let's say, for example, it is too emotional. It is a very heavy story for teenagers. So, as you critique the movie, you have to identify the group of people with whom you're going to recommend the movie that you have critique. That ends today's episode. You are now ready to have your movie review. And for this episode, for this lesson, you are going to watch the movie Miracle in Cell Number 7, Filipino version that starred Aga Mulak. And after that you have watched the movie, you're going to critique and make a movie review. So, good luck. This is Mom Fanny Luna, your MDL English teacher, signing off. Happy learning. God bless everyone.